Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Elizabeth Doroba. Crews responded to a reported commercial structure fire at the Boscov's department store in Hazel Township on Tuesday. Laurel Mall officials say they were first alerted that something was wrong when the lights in the store began to flicker and the registers became unresponsive. Employees then noticed smoke coming from their stock rooms and cash offices. Crews from West Hazleton and Hazleton City arrived at the scene around 12 p.m. Emergency crews say they investigated all of the electrical boxes, the roof, and the hatchets before allowing the employees back in the building. No injuries have been reported. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Interstate 80 was closed for hours in both directions on Monday due to an overturned tractor-trailer. The incident took place on Interstate 80 westbound around mile marker 226 between the Buckhorn and Danville exits. Crews say they arrived on the scene around 11:30 a.m. for reports of a propane truck over an embankment. Upon arrival, crews say an active leak was confirmed and hazmat crews were called to the scene. According to officials, 2 individuals suffered minor injuries in the crash and 3 homes were evacuated within the immediate area. The propane truck was off-gassed in a controlled setting and continued to burn for about 6 hours. Crews worked the scene for about 12 hours in total. Interstate 80 has since been reopened in both directions. The results of the Teen Talk School Gun Violence Report have been released by the Attorney General, including results from the Hazleton area. Pennsylvania Attorney General Michelle Henry has issued a Teen Talk report on the impacts of gun violence on teenagers, which comes after her recent visits to several school districts, including the Hazleton Area School District. During her visits, Henry held candid conversations with students about how gun violence has impacted their mental health and what can be done to help them feel safer. Students across all 4 districts, which also included Philadelphia, McKeesport, and Steelton High Spear, identified several areas where school districts can improve. These improvements include better communication and trust between school officials and students, additional mental health services, and prioritizing funding towards social-emotional learning and conflict resolution programming. A full copy of the Teen Talk report will be made available to every district in the Commonwealth. The report can also be found on the Attorney General's website at attorneygeneral.gov. Coming up on WYLN News, crews respond to a hunting cabin fire in Fairmont Township. Plus, a Hazleton area athlete is recognized by the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast, brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Lorelai, and I'm 7 years old, and tomorrow it's going great.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Hi everybody, I'm Dr. John. This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Araceli was in a terrible accident. She was in so much pain when she first came here. I'm sure she was afraid, don't hurt me. So tune in on the show and listen to her story of how chiropractic is helping her to get back to normal life again.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@wylntv.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back to WYLN News. A cabin in Fairmont Township has been deemed a complete loss following a Monday afternoon fire. According to officials, crews worked the scene on Bethel Hill Road for over 6 hours in extremely windy conditions. Fire crews say the building had been a hunting cabin and that no one was inside at the time of the fire. Crews from Fairmont Township, Sweet Valley, North Mountain, Benton, Huntington, Lake Silkworth, Berwick, and Back Mountain all responded at the scene. Luzerne County Manager Romilda Crocamo announced on Monday that Emily Cook has been appointed to the position of full-time election director for Luzerne County. Cook has been serving as the acting election director since February, when the former director, Aaron Harvey, resigned. Cook's salary will be $64,500 a year, which is the same amount she earned as the acting director and the same amount paid to each election director since 2019. Cook has been working with the Election Bureau in a variety of positions since September of 2021 and said she is confident that the Bureau will be prepared for the November 5th presidential election. A Hazleton area athlete traveled to Harrisburg on Monday to be recognized for his athletic achievements. During his visit, Samuel Guzman was recognized by the House of Representatives for winning gold in the Class AAA javelin throw at the 2024 PIAA Track and Field Championships. Guzman also received a House citation from PA State Representative Dane Watrow. Guzman was joined in Harrisburg by his family and by his Hazleton area high school coaches. From all of us here at WYLN, we'd like to congratulate Guzman on his accomplishment. Coming up on Hazleton's News Choice, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Port Carbon Part 2. Plus, we learn what to do if you're in an accident on Trooper Talk Tuesday. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms, and a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care. Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I end up going to a dentist and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found this, the Brooks night guard. This was a game changer. It's smaller than other night guards that I tried, which is a good thing because it doesn't make me gag. It could fit on the top or the bottom of the teeth. It's lightweight and super comfortable. Now the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Bruck's Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brucksnightguard.com and order yours today. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Go to brucksnightguard.com and use the promo code to activate your special TV offer. That's brucksnightguard.com. Order today and take advantage of this special TV offer. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
When the Civil War broke out, many of Port Carbon's sons eagerly volunteered to fight the Confederacy. Mayor Ross Bull's son Thomas was among the recruits from Schuylkill County that joined the First Defenders, the initial set of volunteers that would join Northern ranks. And when the First Defenders arrived at the Capitol and were greeted by the President, Thomas Bull would be the first one in the party to shake Abraham Lincoln's hand. Other Port Carbon residents, however, would remember the war afterwards with more sorrow. Of these, none would feel more grief than Agnes Allison, who had 6 sons. 4 would serve in the war, and all 4 would be killed in action. John Allison would die on May 3, 1863 at Salem Church. Alexander Allison died 2 days later from wounds suffered at Crampton's Gap. George Allison died at Spotsylvania on May 23, 1864, and James Allison was killed in action at Bethesda Church a few days afterwards. The brothers were buried in separate cemeteries, but they are reunited in text on a monument built over their mother's grave in Port Carbon's Presbyterian Cemetery. Once the war ended, Port Carbon returned to normalcy. The following decades would be mostly calm in town. By then, numerous churches had sprung up, each one serving a different ethnic group out of the many that by then called Port Carbon home. St. Paul's Evangelical Lutheran Church, the Methodist Church, St. Stephen's Catholic Church, Grace United Evangelical Church, and the First Presbyterian Church were just a few of those that offered services for the faithful in the community. While not all the churches still stand today, their spirit of God's compassion still permeates modern-day Port Carbon. In the 1890s, the rise of the trolley would reach Port Carbon as well. Town Council in 1891 granted the local Pottsville Electric Railway Company the right to build their tracks into the borough. The line would be built over the bridge from neighboring Palo Alto and down Cole Street, then turn onto Pike Street to Market Street. Later, the line would extend east toward Tamaqua, and ultimately to what was then Mauch Chunk. Trolley service in Port Carbon would last until 1931, when buses would take over the routes, although trolley tracks would remain visible in the streets for some time afterwards. As the trolleys rose in prominence, automobiles first came upon the scene as well. Among those who noted their rise was Robert Allison, who owned Port Carbon's Franklin Iron Works, which made mining machinery. On a trip to Cleveland, Allison met with Alexander Wynton, owner of the Wynton Motor Carriage Company of that city. Wynton took Allison for a ride in one of his new cars, impressing the latter enough to declare that he wanted to buy it. He wired Wynton $1,000 for the car, which was the very first automobile ever purchased in America. Wynton shipped it by train to Pottsville, where it arrived on April 1, 1898. Allison then drove the car, which had 1 seat and was steered with a bar rather than a wheel, back to Port Carbon. He would subsequently drive it down to Philadelphia, a trip that took 3 days and was hampered by a lack of gas stations along the way. Allison had to buy alcohol from drugstores along the route to keep going. He would buy other cars over the following years as well. Robert Allison's original car would eventually be displayed in the Smithsonian, and then by Cleveland's Crawford Auto Aviation Museum.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
Hi everybody, welcome back to another segment of Trooper Talk Tuesday. I'm Trooper Anthony Petrowski, Troop N, Public Information Officer. Today we're talking about motor vehicle crashes. In Pennsylvania, there's two types of crashes. There's a reportable crash and a non-reportable crash. I'll cover non-reportable crashes first. So, if you get into a minor fender bender, maybe it's in a parking lot, and there's two factors. Number one, there's no disabling damage to the vehicle, meaning both vehicles or however many vehicles are involved, they can be driven from the scene and there's no injuries. That makes it a non-reportable crash in Pennsylvania, meaning all you have to do is swap information with the other drivers. So, name, phone number, vehicle information, license plate, and insurance information. Even if you want to take pictures of it with your cell phone, this is a good way to keep it track. And then you can just simply report that to your insurance company. We, as law enforcement, are not required to show up to a non-reportable crash unless there's a problem going on there. If the other person won't exchange information, or maybe if there's a language barrier and you can't get through that situation enough to get that information, contact 911. Law enforcement will come out and then we will absolutely do an investigation and handle the crash investigation. The other types of crashes are reportable crashes. This means that one or more vehicles needs to be towed from the scene and or there are injuries involved. We as law enforcement are required to be there and do an investigation. Now, we will do an investigation. Whoever is at fault will be cited for the crash and we will have our day in court. Now, let's just say you witness a crash. Maybe you're driving somewhere and you see a crash happen or you come up on a crash. The best thing you could do, if you want, you can safely pull off the road and check on the people. Or if you don't do that, you can contact 911 and call the crash in. Give a good location of where it is so we law enforcement can show up and handle our job. Now, let's say you're involved in a crash and you are in the roadway. If you get out, a lot of people think, well, I have to leave the vehicles here so the police can see it. Well, we're more concerned about your safety. So if you can safely move the vehicles off of the road, we would rather that, because if your vehicles are in the road, there's still a risk of cars coming and possibly causing more crashes and more injuries. So if you can, please move the vehicles off the road. If you can't, and your vehicle's still on the road, don't stay in it. Please get off of the road to the side and contact 911 and wait for us to show up. We will do an investigation. Now, let's talk about hit and run crashes. Hit and run crashes when somebody hits a vehicle, whether it's moving or stationary, and they flee the scene. That's called a hit and run crash. If you witness this, call 911, be a good witness. Give a plate, license plate for the vehicle, a good vehicle description, and direction of travel. This way, hopefully, we can catch up to them. Or if you come out of a store, you come out somewhere and you see your vehicle was struck, contact 911. We will come out. We will do our investigation, hopefully look at surveillance, try to find the person who hit your vehicle, and if we do find them, they will be cited. There are hefty fines along with hit and run crashes, and yes, you will be responsible for it. If you have any more questions involving crash investigations, feel free to contact me at the State Police here in Hazelton. If not, I'll catch you all back here on Trooper Talk Tuesday.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.